You are listening to the Getting Lucky Mixed Martial Arts Podcast. I am your host, the man, Lucky Robert Curtis, joining me from a long hiatus, whoring around on other podcasts, baseball, soccer, cricket, curling. I welcome back Mitchell Stuckey.
Hey.
I'm going to need you to amp it up a bit, Mitchell.
What up? What up?
What up?
What up?
Those are sections of the podcast I'm going to have to go back and edit because I just saw my sound wave max out.
What up,
Good
though?
times. We are back, and I am naked, and I'm ready to party. Let's just leave it at that. Coming up this weekend, the UFC on Fox 7. This is redemption for the UFC. After two cards, the death hole, butthole surfer card that was Sweden. Very much sorry, Freddie, for spoiling that. And also a card that delivered but did not look like it would on paper, and that was the Tough 17 finale. This card on paper looks bonerific. What do you think?
I'm popping a bone cone thinking about it. I was, you know what? I wasn't as excited with the finale as you were. What was the Ultimate Fighter finale? What was weird for me was I watched the whole season, every episode, and I don't usually watch Tough like that. I think that was my second season that I've ever watched every episode of. And when it got to the finale, I did not care. The only fight I wanted to see was Kelvin and Uriah. I didn't care about anything else. You believe that? I didn't even see Jorgensen Faber. I haven't seen that yet.
That one was okay. The fight on there were a couple fights that were good. There were lots of finishes. So if that's your thing, and let's face it, it is. Cole Miller. You had 3 decisions on a 12-fight event. Yeah.
There was the Kat Zingano-Misha Tate fight, though. That was good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am a married man, and yes, I am very much a proponent of women's sports. My wife is an insane feminist. She fought in karate for a long time, national champion over here in Australia multiple times. I am as pro-female as a guy with some big, lovely set of balls can be.
Lovely.
When I watched Kat Zingano fight Misha Tate, I was continually delighted to see side boobage while they were grappling.
I'll tell you what, Misha Tate's got some.
They've actually got some boobage, man.
Yeah. They got decent Misha Tate. Well, let's not get sexist here, but I turned that card on. Obviously, for the first fight was Clint Hester, Bristol Marunde. I turned it on, and I'm like, okay, neither of these guys want to fight at all, and I've never heard of Bristol Marunde. So I turn it off, and wouldn't you know it, like a minute later, Clint Hester gets a devastating KO.
Well, and then the Dylan Andrews-Quinlan fight was a good one, too.
I didn't see that, because I had already changed it, and if I had known that was the next fight, I would have kept it on.
And then after Barnett-Hart, which I didn't like, other people have told me I'm insane, and I accept that, Josh Sam and Kevin Casey was a good fight, too.
Well, I hoped both of them would lose, so I'm disappointed to see that didn't happen.
You want 4 blown ACLs, both knees
that's
each.
Right. Blown ACLs, blown neck veins, all of it. And then what really annoyed me was they were starting off the main card with Bubba McDaniel, who is overrated, versus Gilbert Smith, who was the worst out of all the contestants this season. The worst guy.
He's an all-time great instigator. He's the guy that's like, I'm on reality TV, I'm going to go shirtless, and I'm going to try to get on camera a lot.
I couldn't figure out, was he British? Like, I know he wasn't.
Gilbert Smith?
Yeah, I know he wasn't British, but he had like an accent. I didn't understand him.
No, he had that. This will sound racist, and I'm okay with this. He had the over-pronunciation common to the Nation of Islam, which made him sound a bit like Tom.
Tom.
Not Uncle Tom, our buddy Tom that does the show.
No, Tom.
I don't want Gilbert to fly over here and kick my Tom.
Tom with an H.
My name's Tom. Shall we talk about the UFC on Fox?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. I forgot. Mm-hmm.
2 fights on the Facebook card. Clifford Starks versus Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero to me sounds like one of two things. It either sounds like an exotic form of salad dressing. Yes, I'll have the Yoel Romero, please. Or it sounds like a type of dance where there's a lot of midriff nakedness that's being shook.
I feel like it sounds like a lower level tequila, like a bottom shelf.
You know what? If it were, I would get drunk on Yoel Romero with my boy Mitchell.
You're going with him?
Yoel is a silver medalist. He's another Cuban defector, just like Hector. He's 4-1, promotional debut, coming off a loss, fighting Clifford Starks. Clifford is a Sun Devil wrestler who actually wrestled right alongside Cain Velasquez. He's 8-1, also coming off of a loss. So when you got two wrestlers, one of two things can happen. You get an ugly wrestling match, or you get ugly stand-up.
Yeah, but see, the thing about wrestlers is they have freak power. Like, they don't know they have it because they never strike.
Some of them do. Volkman, not freak power.
No, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna say Cliffle. Cliffle's going for the win only because he's got experience in the UFC. Whoa, excuse me, in the UFC. And Ramiro, what's this? This is his 6th fight. Cliffle. I enjoyed watching him lose to Ed Herman, though. That turned me on.
So check this out. You know the rules of how we pick fights. Wikipedia page, they both got them. Now we go to nicknames. Yoel Romero's nickname is Soldado de Dios, which I believe is the sun god.
Yeah, Sol is sun. I don't know what the Dado part of it is.
Soldado de Dios. I believe that's sun god.
Okay.
And for that reason, I bow before Mighty Raw. Yoel, you're the man. You'll go all the way. Get it?
I
Get what
got it.
I did there?
I got it.
Let's just move on and pretend that never happened. They're middleweights, by the way. Next fight, last fight on Facebook, lightweights, Anthony Njokuani. Did I do that? I think I pulled it off.
That was good. I fumbled
Thank
through
you.
it.
You say it.
Anthony Njokuani.
See, now you're just going off of my mojo. When you said it in our pre-fight debrief, our pre-show debrief, you were all over the place.
I was sounding it out. I put decimals in his name. That doesn't even make any sense.
You were throwing out vowels like Diaz's throw out slap punches. Oh, that sucked. All right, and he's fighting. By the way, he's 15-7 with 1 no contest, coming off of a loss. He's fighter Roger Bowling, 11-3, promotional debut, also coming off a loss.
Ooh.
You know, for Njokuani's sort of record, which 15-7 is
Mm-hmm.
he's got a win over Palashevsky or Bartimus, as well as John McDessie. Those are some big names. So the kid obviously has something about him. He's not just a...
Yeah, but he's got an awful lot of losses, though, to, mid-level, not anything big kind of guys. But he's got a loss to Bendo and Donald Cerrone. You can't take anything away from him about that. But Shane Roller, never really a big guy. Barboza, Castillo, Danny Castillo.
You forgot Maciej Zdziskovski.
I was skipping over that name because I'm not even trying that one.
But got TKO'd by him first round.
I know. But then you look at Bowling, and he's got 3 losses, 2 of which came to Bobby Volker, and he beat Bobby Volker once. Like, how do you fight a guy... In 4 fights, he fought Bobby Volker 3 times. That doesn't make sense.
His last loss came via the unanimous decision to Tarek Safedine. And I do think... Granted, alright, so you're right. Njokuani has worse losses, but he also has better wins. So it's tough. It's tough.
He has a horrible nickname, the Assassin. Come on, man. You're from Nigeria. The Assassin's all you can do. I know they do crazy stuff in Nigeria. You don't have to be an assassin.
What would you call him? Because Roger Bowling is Relentless Roger. That sounds like a porn name.
Oh, he throws Relentless before the Roger, huh?
I don't know if he does, but I'm going to.
You know what I'd like him to do? I'd like him to pull a Rampage, and he'd just be Relentless Bowling. That would make him sound like he just throws strikes all day.
I would go all in on Roger Bowling if he would do the Rampage / He-Man and just change his first name to Relentor. I'm going with Injikuani. Bowling is a Strikeforce guy. Strikeforce guys have come over and won. But
I'm going with Bowling.
Just to be different, I'm going with Injikuani. You want to make a wager?
I don't feel strong enough about this, but I think there might be a fight or two later that you'll be surprised that we disagree on.
All right. FX card, bantamweights, TJ Dillashaw coming off of a fresh KO from Issei Tamura. Sorry. I feel like we should have sake and drink every time I say a Japanese fighter's name. He's coming off of a 3-fight win streak versus Wolverine. Hugo Viana, 7-0. Obviously, he's on a 7-fight streak.
Yeah, all Brazilians.
2 contestants from The Ultimate Fighter, one from the USA, one from Brazil.
Oh.
What do you think?
I'll tell you what. You look at Dillashaw's last fight, it was impressive, but let me tell you, sir, I do not like Dillashaw because of what he did after his last fight, when Tamura was clearly knocked out, and he kept hitting him. And even the ref came over, and he hit him another time or two, I think. I think he hit him 2 more times. I have no respect for that. How do I say this? When you hit a guy, and he goes out the way Tamura did, you know he's out. And to hit him that many more times afterwards, I don't agree with that. I couldn't tell you who Hugo Viana was if he was standing right in front of me.
You know, he's got a Wolverine haircut. He's even got side chops. You'd know.
Oh, so he's legit about this Wolverine thing.
Yeah, that's his nickname, Wolverine.
No, I knew it was his nickname.
He's even got the haircut, just like Hugh Jackman.
Well, you know what? Whether I like Dillashaw or not, I'm going Wolverine, strictly based on that information alone.
Should I call you Logan Weapon X? No, Wolverine. That's from Mallrats. Did you ever see that?
Mallrats, yeah.
So one thing about TJ Dillashaw, his name TJ is Tyler Jeffrey. Now, he's got a weird spelling of his name. It's not Tyler, it's Tylor. And it's not Jeffrey, it's Jeffrey. So his name is Tylor Jeffrey, and his nickname is Tyler the Viper. Tyler the Viper.
Now wait a minute. Jeffrey, the way he spells it looks normal to me. It doesn't look normal to you?
The R and the E are normally the other way around.
Are they?
So it's Jeffrey, not Jeffrey.
Oh yeah, you're right. My eyes are playing trick. Tyler, see, unless you're going to be a professional hockey player, spell Tyler normal. That's like
Tyler.
Right. It's like Sean spelled 32 different ways in the NHL. That gets to me.
I do think TJ's going to win, though.
He probably will, because he did look great against Tamura, but I hope he dies in a fire.
I am emotionally compromised for this next fight. I may burst into tears if Tim Means does not take the cage. Lightweight Tim Means, 18-3-1, 9-fight win streak, although we're not counting the disqualification versus the tile, versus Jorge Masvidal, 23-7, 1-fight win streak, making his promotional debut from Strikeforce. Come on, Timmy.
Masvidal wins by weight cut.
He's a big dude.
No, Tim Means is just going to lose. He won't make it.
I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to this, but Tim Means went from fighting Abel Trujillo, a black zillion with less than 10 fights, to fighting Jorge Masvidal, 30 fights, also a title shot versus Gilbert Melendez. How different is that level of comp? The guy gets knocked out by the tile, and so Dana's like, fuck him. Let's give him the worst possible fighter he could take.
I don't know, though. I don't think Masvidal is that dangerous.
Compared to Abel Trujillo, he's another level.
Yeah. But Means is dirty, though. I mean,
Dirty Bird.
He's got a sweet record, And dude wins by knockout.
This is gonna be a good fight.
Not in the sauna. It is gonna be. It's gonna be. It's gonna be great. I think. I don't know. I'm for the undercard, and I know the undercard's a great undercard. I'm very excited about this fight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this has potential to be fight of the night. To be honest, both of these guys are strikers. Both these guys bring it. Tim Means is a gangster.
I've noticed though that
the dude fought with a shot. He fought like 2 weeks after getting shot in the leg. If you check out my interview.
Oh, probably gonna put a little link in this YouTube thing about it. But
probably not. That takes extra effort.
Extra time. Extra time. Forget about it. The thing I don't like about the fight of the night. You said this is going to be fight of the night. It seems to me that fight of the night is rarely granted to those that make little money, even when they deserve it.
Well, the thing is when you look at the main card, the fight of the night that could come out of there.
Nate Diaz, Josh Thompson.
Well, it could be Matt Brown, Jordan Mean, because Matt Brown puts on fights. Nate Diaz, Josh Thompson, those guys are going to fight. Frank Mir, Daniel. I take that back. This will be a great fight, but it won't be fight of the night. There's too much fireworks. I don't think Bendo Gilbert is going to be an exciting fight. I think he'll just control him and win a decision.
Yep. Bendo's turned into that.
Tim Means, Jorge Masvidal, going to be an awesome fight. Tim Means is a big dude. He is 5'2", and I believe with a reach that exceeds his height. So he's got a nasty, nasty jab, and he uses a dirty bird. Whereas Jorge Masvidal is 5'10", so just a 4-inch height advantage just off of that. Who do you like?
I'm gonna go Means.
I'm emotionally compromised. I'm going to go Tim Means as well.
You have to.
Although my head is telling me to take Jorge Masvidal.
No, Masvidal hasn't been very impressive to me in the fights that I've seen.
And he's been slumping lately.
Yep.
See how I'm talking myself into this? All right.
It's not like
this is a little bit of a crime. The next fight, flyweight Joseph Benavidez, 17-3, coming off of a very impressive win, in my opinion, over Ian McCall. He is the number 2 ranked flyweight in the world versus nobody. He is fighting Darren Unoyama.
Now
I'm gonna say that in my accent. Unoyama. He is 8-3 with a 3-fight win streak, not ranked. The only thing that he's got going in his favor is he beat Phil Harris, and Phil Harris was on a 5-fight win streak when they fought.
First of all, Darren Unoyama is from San Francisco. So for you to throw in that accent on it,
he's probably totally Japanese San Francisco. There's lots of him.
He's them like they're apes at a zoo. They're all over. The place is crawling with them.
So check this out. I'll say his name like this. I'll say Darren Yamanyana. There, I can represent his mixed heritage.
And you called him a nobody?
Compared to Joseph Benavidez, yeah, he's a nobody.
They are both top 10, my friend.
Umanura is not ranked. I checked.
What? He was top 10 not too long ago, and he hasn't fought. How did he drop out?
I don't know. He's not in there.
That doesn't make any sense.
Is he making a debut from another
Yeah, he
division?
just debuted to flyweight. Okay. No, this is going to be his second flyweight fight. He was top 10 beforehand, before he changed divisions.
Well, now he's going to fight number 2.
Went from bantamweight to flyweight, and that doesn't make any sense. He was on a 2-fight win streak in bantamweight. What is the dilly?
What is the Dillashaw?
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
Benavidez.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question here. Benavidez, and the only question is Benavidez going to draw this out, or is he going to take it to him?
Even if he does, they're flyweight's decision.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. But I agree. I totally agree.
Lightweight Ramsey Najim, 7-2, 3-fight win streak. Looked better in certain areas against Joe Proctor. Versus Miles the Fury Jury, 11-0.
Gotta go Fury Jury. Right? You got to.
This is the least interesting fight on the card to me.
It totally is. First of all, Ramsey Nijem, you have to have the internet to look this guy up to even know who he is. He's not anybody important, especially in a division like lightweight. And he's fighting Miles Jury. Miles Jury just isn't that interesting.
No. Miles Jury, like I told you this in our pre-show talk, Miles Jury looks like the neighborhood kid that like has a paper route, or he's in ROTC, or he works at the library. He just looks like a regular dude. Neither of these guys. Don't get me wrong, Miles Jury's 11-0, but he hasn't fought anybody.
Miles Jury looks like he could have been, or still could be, a character on a Sandlot sequel. He is a itty little boy, a little man. But
I'll go with Jury.
Yeah,
he's 11-0. He's earned a tip of the hat from Robert Curtis.
Not only is he 11-0, Nijem's only notable wins, I guess you could even call them, are against Danny Downs and Joe Proctor. Like, scum of the scum. So.
Miles Jury, ouch. Miles Jury has a win over Michael Johnson. That's, I think, better.
Right. But if you look at his other wins, they're nobody's. But yeah, I mean, they're still both early in their career, so I mean, I can't be too harsh on them. But and they're both young. Wow, they're very young.
Let's move on.
Okay, because I do not care about that fight.
Middleweight Francis Carmont, 20-7, 9-fight win streak versus Kung Fu King Lorenz Larkin, 13-0. Wink, wink, wink. With 1-fight win streak, making his debut over from Strikeforce. Lorenz Larkin, steroids or near steroids, got tooled by Lawal.
Tooled.
And it doesn't matter what you do on his record, he still got tooled.
Yep. Now, I mean, Lawal just was better in every facet. The other thing about Lorenz is he gasses in almost in like a round, right?
Mm-hmm. He does not have a gas tank, and he doesn't look like he's got a gas tank either.
It's just surprising how quick he's out. I mean, he fights at a very high pace, and he's still able to... It's not like he's done fighting after he gasses, but he's a shell of himself.
He made his debut after getting tooled by Lawal. He's now a middleweight, so I can't remember what he looked like against Robbie Lawler. Maybe he's trimmer now. I don't know.
Here's a question. This has nothing to do, I guess, with this fight. I'm just looking at Francis Carmont's record, and he fought on a show, on an event called Slammer in the Hammer. What does that mean, Slammer in the Hammer?
Prison fights?
This is what I thought. Like, Slammer would be the prison... but it's Slammer in the Hammer, so they're in a hammer. Are they using pogs with a slammer? What's going on here?
Maybe it's like something you would find at a like lockup with Sylvester Stallone, where they take two men and give them like mallets and have them fight to the death.
Slammer in the Hammer sounds like Steven Seagal just made a movie, and that's what they called it.
Steven Seagal, whenever all of his movies are a preposition, like out for justice.
Yeah.
You know?
Under siege.
Yes, under siege, in trouble. I don't know. On deadly ground.
I'm going Carmont, actually.
I appreciate you trying to do the French accent, by the way.
I'm going Carmont, because I believe Carmont is a better stand-up game he fights. See, now I'm going a different language. That doesn't make sense. I'm going with him because he's fighting with alongside George St. Pierre. They have a great gym up there in TriStar, and I think he's going to be better trained and able to take on a striker like Lorenz Larkin. I think the easy way to fight him obviously is to use his gas tank against him, and I think they're gonna exploit that.
I think this could be an interesting fight. They're both stand-up guys, but I do agree. I'll give the tip of the hat to Carmont.
Mm-hmm. And he is well versed in the submission game. I don't recall Larkin defending too many submissions. I know he doesn't have any submission wins, so I think they could go that way.
His answer to submissions is Tiger Claw. That's what he does.
I do love his shorts, though. I like that he fights in those shorts. Though they look like I don't know. It's like he has thick streamers Every time he does a spin, it's interesting.
Do you think they would let you wear like full body spandex? You know, like Under Armour?
Full body? No, because then you'd be slippery. You'd be George St. Pierre out there.
No, you would be less slippery because the sweat.
Full body?
Yeah, full body.
Like Green Man?
Not like that's not the right kind of material. That's my point.
Okay.
I'm talking like Under Armour. You know, like it's like what you would wrestle, like what you would grapple in, like
head to toe.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they would.
If they did, I would wear blue, and then I would wear normal GSP type trunks on top of them that are red.
Okay.
Superman.
Then you'd be Superman, yeah.
Featherweights.
Wait.
Yeah.
Before we get into the Mendez fight, because I don't care about Mendez, but what's the over/under here on Carmont coming out in a super tight karate gi
With a katana.
Via Mike Ricci?
Apparently, Canadians are confused. You're not Japanese.
Yeah.
You're Canadian. Come out. All right. Compromise. We're all about come out in your gi, but have a hockey stick over your back.
Right. Or come out in the Mountie suit with the gi.
Dude,
not the gi.
WWF heel. I am from Canada, eh? And I hate all of you Americans, eh? And he makes the whole audience listen to the Canadian national anthem. That'd be great. The French Canadians are the worst.
If he came out to the the Canadian national anthem as his walkout music, that'd be awesome.
In a Mountie outfit, like red hat, everything. Even ride a horse. Let's do it all the way. And Lorenz Larkin could come out like Kung Fu. The legend continues. Have a little blind sidekick that throws salt into Carmon's eyes in between rounds. Chad Mendes, featherweight, 13-1, 2-fight win streak off of a horrible destruction of Yatsen Meza. Yahtzee versus Darren Elkins. Darren Elkins just fought last month. He beat Antonio Carvalho in 186 seconds.
Yeah, I like me some Elkins. We talked about that fight beforehand. We did the UFC 158 show together, and we were talking about how since going into featherweight, he's been nothing but a decision machine. And I said he doesn't want to be known as that. He wants to be a guy that could do what he did in his previous weight class, and he did that against Carvalho. I think he looks to do the same thing against Mendes. Both of them can wrestle. Obviously, Elkins can't wrestle at the level that Mendes can, but I'm pulling for Elkins. I'm totally partial for Elkins.
See, I don't understand why this fight's not on the main card. Matt Brown, Jordan Mean should be the headline of the FX undercard, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because this has title implications. Like immediate title implications, in my opinion.
Not only does it have title implications, it's probably going to be kind of boring. Whereas Meehan and Brown, that's going to be awesome. And that's going to get people to flip over.
But you're sort of pandering to your casual fan, where hardcore fans know that this fight, Mendes-Elkins, is one of the best matchups, in terms of their skill and their streak and their current form that's on the entire card.
Well, maybe that's why they're putting it as the...
But they're featherweights.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing with Benavidez and Ewan Yoma. Why is Benavidez so low? It's because he's a flyweight.
His name is Yunoyama.
Yunoyama?
Fuck it.
He doesn't even have a name.
His name is Darren.
Did you know
Toby.
His nickname or his other name is BC? Where do you get that from, Darren Yonoma? Where do you get that?
BC. Maybe he says he fights like a primitive before modern times.
I don't know.
I don't know. Fox, welterweight, Matt the Immortal Brown, the personal favorite fighter and god to CJ, 16-4, 4-fight win streak versus Jordan. I'm going to say Meehan.
It is Meehan. It is Meehan.
Meehan. It's Meehan. 27-8, 3-fight win streak. Jordan Meehan just came over from Strikeforce and had himself a dandy of a debut.
What did you say? CJ, the god of CJ.
Oh, Rob Danum on MMA Share loves him some Matt Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I, sir, am disappointed in this fight. Devastated, actually.
Why?
Well, originally Dan Hardy was supposed to be in Jordan Meehan's spot.
Oh, that would be a good fight, though. Hardy Brown.
Oh my God, it would be awesome. But his wolf heart kept him out, which I think is real dumb. But I don't know. I was looking forward to that fight. It was announced months ago, and then just like that, it's gone. It's gone in a blink of an eye, Rob. It can go that quick.
I feel like I should play like a no doubt song. Don't think I know just what you're saying.
I think
all the time playing. I don't know the fucking words.
I think TLC's Waterfalls would be more appropriate, but hey.
Matt Brown just came off of a brutal KO over Mike Swick, and Mean destroyed sentimental favorite Dan Miller.
I know. I still am upset about Dan Miller, but he really did get just whored. For lack of a better word, he got destroyed.
Yeah, he got passed around cell block B. There's no question.
Hey, but Meehan did get sunk in a deep choke by Dan Miller, but he got out. It was an armbar, I think. But I don't know what it was, but he got out, and it was awesome. Who do you see winning this?
Well, I think the Mike Swick victory for Matt Brown may be a bit of pyrite, maybe a bit of fool's gold, because I don't think Swick was on. I don't think Swick had it that fight.
I don't either. But he did beat Stephen Thompson, though. And that was pretty big for Matt Brown, I think.
But then Luis Ramos, Chris Cope, John Howard, these are his recent victories. I think Matt Brown's a gamer. There's no question.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, Mean is kind of the mirror image, right? Except with fewer losses.
Yeah, he's a killer. Meehan is a killer. And he's 23? Jesus. He's been in more fights than... That doesn't make any sense how many fights he's been in. He's a killer.
15 KOs.
I think you gotta go Jordan Meehan.
You know what? I'll go Matt Brown.
Oh, now see, here we have... Well... Alright, mark it down. We'll see which one we want to bet on here at the end. This might be a good one.
Nate Diaz, 16-8, coming off of his loss, a title shot, versus a very similar fighter, Josh Thompson, 19-5, won no contest, also coming off of a loss and a title shot from Strikeforce. What do you think?
I think I love me some Nate Diaz. I'm much, much better than I like Nick Diaz. Not that I don't like Nick Diaz, but I love me some Nate Diaz. And Josh Thompson's kind of badass. So I'm a little scared. I don't know where the P went in his name. There's no reason to spell Thompson like that unless you're English Tom. But but I'm sure he's got some proper way to the reason we say it like that. I don't know. I don't know who to pick. I want Nate Diaz to win. I think Josh Thompson wins.
Man, it's just so tough because Strikeforce, you kind of got an idea that in some divisions, like lightweight, the UFC was much stronger. So if Nate Diaz is romping through lightweight and Josh Thompson comes over, then you would think Nate Diaz is legit. You know, he's got a much greater level of competition. The problem is if we don't really know how good Strikeforce's lightweight is until Benson and Gilbert fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's really, really tough to pick this fight. Josh Thompson will strike. Do you agree?
He will. If he does, he's going to get picked apart.
And that's my point. I don't think anyone has ever beaten Nate standing up.
And I don't think that's going to happen Saturday. But I think Josh has got to be smart enough. And I don't know if I haven't seen too much fight IQ out of him. But you got to be smart enough at this point to just see how easy it is to beat the Diaz brothers. You just take him down and keep him there, and avoid submissions like crazy.
Well, he's a grappler, but I'm hoping he'll strike.
You're hoping Thompson will?
Yeah, I'm hoping he'll strike. I want to see these two strike.
I don't think he stands a chance against Diaz striking, unless he swarms him. That's what I don't understand. Nobody swarms the Diaz brothers. They stay at range and let themselves in the early part of the fight get hit by that jab, and they go, "Oh, that doesn't matter to me. It's not a big deal. I'll just stay here all day." And then in the second round, they're like, "Okay, that thing's starting to hurt really bad," and then they're afraid to come in. Swarm them. Right?
That's an interesting point, because the Diaz don't have just particularly great hand speed. They don't have great head movement. What they do have is volume, and they sort of hide behind that E Honda-like flurry of punches. I would say hide is the right term.
No, but
they use that as their defense.
Yeah, but they don't just have volume, though. They have range, and it's not even like they have super long range. The way they stand and lean in is good enough for them, and they can lean in the way they do without great head speed because of the chins they both have.
You know, I was just going to say, I just thought of someone who flurried. Paul Daly.
Ooh.
and he connected.
He did.
And it didn't do anything.
No.
So maybe you don't flurry. Maybe you don't rush. Maybe you just grapple him.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's just wrestle. I think you just wrestle him.
So,
I want Nate Diaz to win. Surprise, surprise. I'm not a Diaz hater. But Josh Thompson, I'll concede this. Josh Thompson has the tools to win, but I want Nate to win.
I agree. That's a better way to put it. I want Nate Diaz to win, but it's clear to me that I can see a easier route for Josh Thompson to win. He has better tools. That's a good way to put it.
These are very well matched fighters, I think.
Yep.
Heavyweight Frank Mir, 16-6. I'm really shocked at his record. I thought it was worse than that with all of the losses. I mean, he's just got his bloodied face is just plastered all over the place. You'd think he'd have 12 losses. Coming off of a loss versus JDS a year ago versus my man, Daniel Cormier, 11-0, the pride of Oklahoma State University. Clearly, Daniel Cormier is going to win. Let's talk about the next fight. What do you got?
Daniel Cormier is God's gift. There's no disagreement. He's pretty fucking good. But Frank Mir is not a joke. Frank Mir is not some low-tier nobody. And I think that gets lost on a lot of people.
It's because Brock Lesnar, what Brock Lesnar did to him in the second fight, that it's easy to think Frank Mir's a joke.
I get that.
I think he was. And you talk about being raped. He was raped with a sword penis.
Yeah, and what I didn't understand in that fight, going all the way back to 2009, but what I didn't understand is he's sitting there getting repeatedly punched by the biggest man he'll ever get punched by, and not even trying to get out of it.
Yeah, he had Brock had his arm roped around his neck and then under his armpit, and was using that leverage to push Mir's head forward into his punches. And Mir was like waving off his corner, like, nah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
3 seconds later, help me, somebody get in here.
Yeah, didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But with all that
he
said,
he needs to shave that
silly little chin thing.
That vagina bush that he's got on his chin. Does not look good.
I don't think Mir is bad as a fighter. What I don't understand, though, is when you lose brutally to guys like Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin, Jr., DeSantos, don't continue to run your mouth about them, and that's what he does.
Or when you pick out the luckiest victory over Big Nog, luckiest victory ever.
Yeah, that was Big Nog.
Don't walk around like you got a 3-foot cock.
I could see Mir winning this.
Of course he could. They're heavyweights. Anything can happen.
But I could see Mir trying to break something. I could see.
What I'm worried about is Cormier breaking his hand. That's what I'm worried about.
Right. If Cormier breaks his hand and somehow Mir's still alive, because at this point in Mir's career it looks like a shot to the face and he's done for. But if he does break his hand, Mir's got to go for the kill, take him down, and break something.
Here's the thing that worries me about Cormier is that this fight doesn't mean anything. He's not staying at heavyweight.
At least that's what he says.
Well, I mean, him and Kane are buddies, and so unless Cain goes all biblical on us and kills his brother, Cormier's going to drop down and fight Jones. So Cormier, every fight he fights at heavyweight is a waste. He needs to get down and start taking on guys at light heavy so he can get used to that new body.
Yeah, but he's got to make it down there.
Everything to lose.
He's got to make it down to light heavyweight safely. And he stated before that he, almost died as a wrestler trying to do that.
Because he wasn't cutting weight properly. He's chunky. He can lose weight.
Yeah.
I mean, human being, you can't just say to a human being, like, no, this human being cannot have abs. And if they try to get abs, they will die. Like, well, if they try to get abs within 12 hours, yeah, they will die. But if you take 6 months and get yourself down there, are you listening, Cyborg? Then you can get down there.
So obviously,
I really want Cormier to win. He's in my heart as much as Hendricks is. Those are my two guys. I don't want them to lose.
I'm a Cormier guy. I have nothing against him, but I'm also and always have been a Frank Mir guy. I know he's the kind of guy that I hate though, and it's weird that I like him. He's the kind of guy that gets under my skin, but for some reason
I don't like him when he's fighting. I like him as a coach.
I like him as a coach, and I like him as an announcer, and I know a lot of people don't, a commentator. I don't like him at a post-fight press conference.
No.
Or
pre-fight.
Right. I don't like him in those situations. When he gets to talk about himself, I do not like that.
That look he's got on his face when he's about to fight. And he's sitting there like, you're ready. He's got that, I'm so much better than you.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But when he's talking about, when you watch clips of him instructing on grappling, I'm like, he seems like a cool guy. Just when he gets in the ring, his Nate Diaz effect, like his morphing into a fighter is the cocky jackass that you hated in high school.
Yep. I agree with that. I think Cormier is going to win. I think Cormier is going to connect with a overhand. And maybe he breaks his hand, maybe he doesn't, but Mir's going down from it. So
I want Cormier to win. That's all I can say. Again, emotionally compromised. Final fight, championship fight. Benson Henderson, 18-2, 6-fight win streak. Only loss in recent memory to Anthony Pettis versus Gilbert Melendez, 21-2, 7-fight win streak. Strikeforce lightweight champion. With this fight, this basically unifies Strikeforce and the UFC. And for the foreseeable future, we won't have another one of these fights. And I think a little bit we've kind of taken it for granted because we had the WC come in, we had Pride come in, and that was a big one. And now we've got Strikeforce come in, so we can have champion versus champion. Mm-hmm. After this fight, there's really nothing. And so I think, in a way, this is the end of an era in terms of mixed martial arts consolidating, and now you've got a very strong Viacom Bellator versus a very strong UFC. Neither of those promotions are going anywhere soon. So now you've got champion versus champion, end of an era, and legitimately two guys that sit 1 and 2 on their division. That is, if Gilbert Melendez isn't a fraud.
I have Melendez getting run over, no questions about it.
I'm worried that that's going to happen. Because Melendez hasn't fought anyone to the level that I think Benson has.
No. The closest guy to Benson's level would be Josh Thompson, and that's not very close. So, I think he gets run over, and he'll find out what the UFC's about. Also, his skills, it seems like his hunger, the fire, has been declining in his last couple of fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he fought Aoki, he had something to prove. He wanted to be like, I am top dog here. I haven't seen that.
It's Aoki. You know what I mean? Like, when was the last time Aoki fought like a top 5 UFC lightweight?
Well, never, but when he fought Aoki, he was just like, all right, a lot of people are saying you're the best guy, blah, 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 blah. And I think he had something to prove. He wanted to be like, no, you're not. I am.
So if that's true, that was also 3 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'm not disrespect. I don't think either of us are disrespecting Gilbert Melendez. We would love for this to be a great fight.
Yep.
But Gilbert Melendez has been on the shelf for a year. He fought once in 2012. He's got to have a level of ring rust. He has not fought anybody. Like, he fought these are his wins from his winning streak. Rodrigo Dam, tough competitor. Mitsuhiro Ishida, Josh Thompson, Shinya Aoki, Tatsuya Kawajiri, Jorge Masvidal, and Josh Thompson. Compare that to Benson, Nate Diaz, 2 Frankie Edwards, Clay Guida, Jim Miller, Mark Bocek. Advantage, Benson Henderson.
Yeah, without a
Not
doubt.
to mention, if you go beyond that, Donald Cerrone twice, Jamie Varner.
Yeah.
I want this to be a good fight, but I have a feeling that Gilbert Melendez is like he is a number 7 lightweight.
Yeah, he's down there, and I don't get me wrong. I don't think when I say get run over, I don't think Henderson's gonna do like a flying roundhouse heel to the
like
face.
Nate Diaz got run over.
Yeah,
but he didn't get embarrassed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I
right.
know what you're saying.
And I think it's going to be just a welcome to the top guys type thing, but I think it's going to be a decision knowing these two fighters.
I mean, look at the guys out of that camp, and maybe it's more indicative of their camp, because like Nick was complaining he couldn't get anyone to train with him because they're not organized enough, to come in and help him with GSP style. So Melendez is from that camp. Now look at Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz also looked clueless and lost in the middle of the fight because I don't think they work on strategy at all when he fought Benson. Jake Shields comes over to the UFC, and now he is completely irrelevant. I just think that Melendez falls more into the line of Jake Shields. Great record in Strikeforce, comes over and is immediately one out athletic. Is that a word? He's not going to have the athleticism that these guys have. He's not going to have the complete camp. Benson is absolutely perfect in his camp. Weight cut, athleticism, muscle mass, explosiveness, every aspect of his game. I think Melendez has morphed into a slightly out-of-shape striker.
I fully agree. And the out-of-shape part of that is what's going to keep him from being able to stand in any way with Benson. At one time, he might have been able to, but Benson's going to be in and out. Just popping him.
And if they get into a grind, Benson takes him and puts him against the cage, drops him a few times for some takedowns. By round 3, Melendez won't have anything left.
Right.
That's my thought. Because Benson is GSP-like in his cardio and his ability to explode.
For me, this fight is cool. Would have been phenomenal maybe 2-3 years ago. Yeah,
because Benson wasn't as good as he is now 2-3 years ago, and Melendez was better. So You're right. It would have been a nicer intersection of talent. But I really wanted to. I mean, if Melendez, I'm not hating on Melendez. No. If he wins, great.
Yeah, and he's a great fighter. I like the guy.
Yeah, he's got a bad haircut. I don't like the curls on anybody.
I think it goes well with him. When there's a promo they're doing, and there's like a slow motion part of that promo for this event where they're focused in on Gilbert Melendez. He looks like a 75-year-old man with his haircut and his terrible facial hair in slow-mo. Looks real old. But all right. So this brings us to the end. So we don't have to bet, but the only one I guess we disagreed on would be the Brown-Meehan fight.
Well, we've got Tim Means. Well, no, we didn't do it. It was Dillashaw Viana was one we disagreed on.
Yeah, but the only one I feel strong enough in our disagreements was Meehan and Matt Brown. Now I love me some Matt Brown, but I think Meehan's gonna whoop him.
I'll go with that. I'll go with Matt Brown.
All right. Well, you're always the stake guy. You're always the guy that gives the stakes. So, what have you got for me, Lottie?
Well, what we normally do is just turn it over to MMAshare.com.
I know, but they haven't been reliable.
They came up with the yodel about Kim Winslow, and they came up with the acapella.
The acapella took some begging to get out of them. Well, all right.
I made it about TRT. Let's turn it over to them. If they don't come up with something good, then
give us something good, guys.
Because that's what always happens. I'll cook something up.
Yeah, God forbid I win, because it's just going to be abhorrent. Like, whatever I have to do, it's just going to be like, that was a letdown.
When you I like how you said when you win, because I think what you meant is when you lose, then you'll have to sing something. If you sing, you'll be like, okay, I'm ready to sing, and you'll have one of those little tune finders like, we wish you a Merry Christmas, like that.
That is what I'll do.
Yeah, that little tune that the choruses do. Who do you think will be fight of the night, knockout of the night, and sub of the night, and then we'll finish it.
Fight of the night, I'm going Matt Brown Meehan. Sub of the night. Ooh, here's something for you. Sub of the night. Frank Mir, Daniel Cormier. And knockout of the night. Probably Frank Mir, Daniel Cormier. I don't know. It's Frank Mir, Daniel Cormier is getting one of those two.
You're like, something's gonna happen in that fight.
Yep.
No clue what it is.
It's gonna get one of those two, but I think fight of the night's got to be. Not got to be either Matt Brown Meehan or Diaz Thompson. But I don't agree with.
The knockout of the night will come out of the Matt Brown Meehan fight.
Okay.
Whoever wins that.
Okay.
I think fight. Go ahead.
I just don't like how I was. Just last thing about the of the night things. I don't like how the championship fights always seem to get the fight of the night. I hate that.
Well, to that point, that's what I'm picking. I bet Melendez has 1 or 2 good rounds, and because it's a championship fight and Melendez has some heart, I bet they get fight of the night.
It's probably right.
And sub of the night, I will go with. This is a tough one. I'll go with. How about Chad Mendes?
Chad Mendes. I would say Carmon. Francis Carmon.
There was somebody I was thinking of, but I can't think of who it is now. And I was like, Chad Mendes? No, but I don't like him against Darren Elkins, so I don't want to say that. I take that back. I'll go with Joseph Benavidez. Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Well, there it is.
We will be back after the show. Hopefully, I think we're going to try to do it a bit earlier in the week, rather than letting it happen on a Monday or Tuesday, our show. No promises. See how things go. Let us know what you think. If you like us, if you want to change things. If you just want to tell us what's on your mind, hit us up. We're always available.
That's right.
Any final words, Mitchell?
What up?
It's
my thing.
Can't think of anything better to exit on. See you guys next time.